Music journalist Joe Levy has covered the industry for Rolling Stone and Maxim. He was here with us Wednesday morning with his Grammy nomination predictions. Today, the big reveal. How did Joe do? Good morning.
You did good.
I did not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah,
agree.
didn't take too many risks, I have to admit. I went with Adele, and that was a safe bet. She got plenty of nominations in the major categories.
She did, 6 of them. How do you think she will do, though, on Grammy night?
I think she's going to do great. Did you hear the cheers in the room last night when they announced her nominations? Everyone is pulling for her. She's got this great story. Not only is the album about heartbreak and getting over it, but now she's had vocal surgery. The big story is she going to be able to sing at the Grammys?
Yeah.
And voters are going to be thinking about that leading up to this.
So she'll be there regardless. It's just a question of whether she sings or not.
That's right, right.
Okay.
Whether she's recovered enough to sing at that point.
Bruno Mars, 6. Surprise?
Very
Your
happy
boy,
to see Bruno Mars get 6 nominations. I am surprised that he got 6. I'm not surprised that he got multiple nominations. He is a multiple threat. He's a great singer. He's a great songwriter. He's a great producer. Last year, he was nominated for work he did for CeeLo and others. This year,
Didn't he have like 7 nominations last year?
I don't think it was 7, but he sure was up there.
And he's how old?
26. 26 years old.
Goodness.
26 like that. There were also, we can't forget Kanye West, who leads the pack. 7 nominations.
7 nominations, and the story there is that he's got 2 albums that are eligible. His own, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and his collaboration with Jay-Z, Watch the Throne. So the big chatter on Twitter today is, why didn't Kanye get an Album of the Year nomination? It's his best record. It's a career-defining record. I say he split the voters, and that, you know, some people voted for Watch the Throne for Album of the Year, and some people voted for...
He's pretty outspoken. Has he said anything about not getting that nomination?
I think he's a little too smart to jump on it right now.
Okay.
Let's wait and see what happens. Plenty of time for him to type on Twitter and tell us what he thinks.
We like Bon Iver, right?
Bon Iver, big story last night. I was expecting a Best New Artist nomination for him. He is a folk artist with a lot of atmospheric backdrop, but Song of the Year, Record of the Year, I was not expecting that. And he's got 6 nominations, 3 in the major categories. His exposure, a lot of the public first met him when he collaborated with Kanye. So there's Kanye's touch yet again.
And one could argue that his previous album was better than...
I would argue that. You and I think, both agree that the previous Bon Iver record, the first one, but he's nominated for Best New Artist. It's his 2nd album. The Grammys are always doing stuff like that.
It's always weird how they do that.
Yes.
So they're snubbing a few people, too.
Sure.
Tony Bennett, as we mentioned.
Right.
Is that just because he's been around for a while? So they say,
you know,
well, let's make it...
I think a major story this year is that there are no old guys in the big categories. Paul Simon had a good record. Tony Bennett had a record that hit #1. No nominations in Album of the Year, Song of the Year, none of the major categories for them. And Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift has 3 Grammy noms, but none in the major categories. So you don't have to be old to be snubbed by the Grammys.
That seemed like maybe the biggest surprise of all of the night.
Especially after her recent wins in the last couple of weeks.
You know, and all I can think is maybe there's a little bit of Taylor fatigue. She's won so much, maybe they're just ready to take a pause. A little Taylor pause.
And she's what, 21? Speaking of the young musicians versus the old ones here.
Crazy.
Joe Levy, always good to see you, sir.
Good to be here.
And thanks for bringing the new music, by the way.
Oh, you're going to enjoy those records. Somebody got a gift.
I'm pumped.
You can catch the 54th Grammy Awards on February 12th, only right here on CBS.